Hello and welcome. You're watching The Social Network now, ahead of those 2014 polls that everyone's talking about. A lot of the battles between the two leading parties have in fact shifted online, and with such a huge support base from both sides now trying to appropriate the space of social media, which is becoming so crucial, are we now facing the danger that this space, which is democratic, has now been completely appropriated for their political wars? That's what we discuss on The Social Network today. Muzzled by the fan mob, BJP Congress trade blame online several months ago, and that is what we're going to be discussing on The Social Network today. And our Twitter handle is @TSN on NDTV. You can tweet us live on the show, but let's quickly take you through why we're actually discussing Muzzled by the fan mob. Take a quick look at the sequence of events. This is a page that's called RahulGandhiAchievements.com. This has been around for a while. And as you can see, the crucial thing on the page is actually that last letter. It's updated almost every single day is what we understand. Just shows that basically it's nothing. This is a satire in a sense. A page that was launched recently by an anonymous party is called NarendraModiPlans.com, which we're going to try and get up in just a bit, and that's exactly what's caused that furor today. All right, we'll try. Yeah, well, that's the page that's come up now on your screens. That page says, for a detailed explanation of how Mr. Narendra Modi plans to run the nation, click on the link below. And what's interesting about the link is that the person who designed the page, when you try to click on the link, it just keeps running away. And it seems that after 60,000 hits in about 20 hours, this gentleman, this is an anonymous person, writes, "I quit in a country with freedom of speech. I assume that I'm allowed to make a decent satire on any politician, more particularly if it's constructive. Clearly, I was wrong." And of course, that person has also gone on to write, "PS, please stop calling the innocent guy with a fake phone number from whose website." Clearly, that person has been bombarded with calls. And now if you try to open that page, this is what you get. So that page has almost completely disappeared, and there is talk of how that person has been threatened a lot, and that's essentially what he's boiled down to. But look at what another person has done. They've created a page which is almost a replication of the thought and concept of that NarendraModiPlans.com. This is called UPAplans.com, and it's almost exactly the same thing. If you try and click on get the details of how the prince, and of course that's a satirical reference to Rahul Gandhi, well, you simply cannot click on it. So that's exactly what started the war of words between the fan mobs on both sides of the parties. But let's quickly listen into what some of the viewers have sent us before we introduce our panelists for the day.
Now it is clearly visible that the war between the fakus and the pappus has intensified. Not only on Twitter but also on mainstream media, Congress and BJP politicians have been addressing the potential prime ministerial candidates as fakus and pappus. So it has actually become a really hilarious thing.
All right, that was Trivan over there talking about the spaces on social media. Let's also listen into what Aneen has sent us.
When you put a pro-Congress tweet out there, you're suddenly hounded on by these nameless, faceless people who try to intimidate, threaten, vilify, and abuse you. That is not welcome. And I think that is exactly what happened to NarendraModiPlans.com yesterday.
The site in question was in no way defamatory. It merely tried to point out flaws in Modi which are very well hidden thanks to his PR machinery. It also goes on to show how the BJP social media cell only believes in suppression and oppression rather than interaction.
All right, so lots and lots of comments coming in. Many people, Aneen, they're pointing out that if you write one word against a party, it simply backlashes on you in such a way. What happened to the social media space that was supposed to be so democratic? In fact, to talk a little bit more about that, we've got Nikhil Pava from Media Nama here with us in the studio. From Mumbai, we're joined by Gursimran Khamba, who's a stand-up comic. Thanks, Gursimran, for coming in. From Bombay, we're also joined by Surya Narayan Ganesh. He is a Congress supporter, and he has, in fact, followed this particular story quite closely. And from Bangalore, we're joined by Amit Malviya, who's the co-convener of the Friends of BJP. Now, Surya, this entire website, this war over this website, etc. Why has this become a space in which there, a website which has been basically created for the purpose of satire. Why has this turned into such a political sore point between with the BJP and the Congress?
I don't think it is. It's this website that is the only cause. If you see the whole pattern of the online world that I've experienced since I joined Twitter about 3 or 4 years ago, I was intimidated very heavily online, abused, threatened. I've even taken a couple of extremely abusive BJP guys to the police. My family has been threatened. There have been BJP guys who tracked down my address and published it online and said that this guy should be beaten up. So there's a whole pattern of intimidation that I've experienced over a long time, and and it happens on a daily basis. In fact, I just sent a tweet to you a few minutes back, where a lady called Oe Maria, she has been heavily abused with all kinds of filthy words that I can't even mention here online. So it's a daily occurrence which we are facing from all these the BJP trolls, and the typical excuse we get from them is we have social media guidelines where we have published that they should not be doing such sort of things. But that is just like the BJP government being in power in Karnataka and letting loose all the Bajrang Dal on the unsuspecting people below. So it's the same tactic. You put a mukhota in front, and then you let all the goons loose at the ground.